Oh my gosh, guys, I am finally back to Smite. It feels so good. I've been having a lot of fun with this game again. And because of that, expect to see a lot more videos of Smite on the channel. I know I've been kind of lacking in content here lately, but sorry. Just been really busy. Yes, expect to see a lot more Smite stuff. And I've also been streaming a lot of Smite. I've been streaming been trying to stream every night. So you want to come hang out with us, watch, make fun of me because I'm kind of suck. Just come to Twitch, come hang out with us, and you can just come laugh at us for how bad we suck. But anyway, back with another guide. This is Sun Wukong we're gonna go over because he's not nerfed yet, which I'm happy that he's not nerfed yet because I love Sun Wukong. He's a ton of fun. He's really good. He's gonna be getting nerfed soon, unfortunately. But anyway, he can be played solo support jungle. He's not really played support jungle all that much anymore like he used to be back in the day, but he's still fine there. He's mostly just played in solo lane because he's actually pretty good in the solo lane. So, once again, I'm going to say before we go over the build that none of these items are in any specific order except for these, well, it's not really in order, but I'll be going over matchups and when you should be building these and stuff and why I personally believe these are the best items for Sun Wukong. But first off, we're going to start with the starter items. Now this is what I build every game no matter who and what I'm going against. I'll always get Bluestone Pendant. It's going to give you some mana and it's going to give you some damage. Sun Wukong's kind of mana hungry, kind-ish. Plus his abilities are very good for clearing the waves and very good for harassing the enemy god. So along with that, makes Bluestone Pendant very good. Sun Wukong can poke someone out of the lane early. And that's one of the reasons why Sun Wukong's pretty strong in solo lane. Then I also like to get tier 1 boots. You're going to be building boots anyway. I don't really have much else to put into the slot for 300 gold. So just get tier 1 boots. Then I like to get 4 health potions for the sustain and 4 multi potions also for the sustain. Now, I know a second ago I said that Sun Wukong's mana is kind of mana hungry, but I still would not suggest getting 4 mana potions. All that health that you'll have, you basically have 8 health potions. I still can't talk. 8 health potions. You're gonna have a lot of sustain lane. It's gonna give you a little bit of mana back too. Plus, the biggest reason is you're a solo laner, so you start with your mana buff. So there's that. So this is what I like to start with, the solo lane. It's very good. It gives me a lot of sustain. I can stay in lane for quite a while with Sun Wukong. Now for boots, I like to get Warrior Tabby. You could also do Reinforced Greaves if you want to, but I just like the extra damage early with the Warrior Tabby. And, well, they're boots. Okay, get them. Another item I get pretty much every game will also be Mail Renewal. This item is great right now. It gives you a lot of sustain in team fights. It helps you stay out there once the team fights started and you don't have to go back to base as much. And it also gives you physical protection and health and cooldown reduction, which Sun Wukong wants all of that. Then I like to get Frostbound Hammer. Sun Wukong is definitely more known for his abilities and his basic attack damage, but the extra slow, just the extra control you'll get from Frostbound Hammer, plus the extra, I think it's 400 health. That's a lot of extra health. And Sun Wukong wants health. The slow and the basic attacks, very good for your team. You already have a slow on your 2. You already have a knock-up or a stun on your 3. It's just going to be hard for people to get away from you. So with that, I'm going to look at some more damage options. Mr. Camille is a very good item right now. The only downside of this item is it's expensive. As in really freaking expensive. But it's very good. Anybody around you is going to take damage. Minions or gods. It could cause a little issue under tower if you're trying to attack the tower and the enemy god walks up to you and Mr. Camille hurts them because the tower's just going to shoot at you, but that's not that big of a deal. It also gives you health and physical protection, and like I said before, that's exactly what Sun Wukong wants. It's a very good item. If you get Mr. Camille that, I would suggest building it second. If you don't get a second item, then I would just suggest getting something else instead of Mr. Camille. It's not really as worth it later in the game, personally. I guess before I go on, the reason why I said that is because this item just puts a lot of pressure on the enemy god. because they're just continuously taking damage from you just by standing close to you. Plus all the poke you could do to them with your abilities. Anyway, I get sidetracked way too easily. The next item we're going to talk about is Runeforge Hammer. You're going to have a lot of physical protection on Sun Wukong. So this is also going to give you a pretty good bit of damage just from the passive on Runeforge Hammer. Plus you also get physical protection from it and health. And the greatest thing about this item is it's so cheap. It's only 2,050 gold. That's cheap. And it's a really good item for that price. And then, I know this might seem like a very strange item to have Sun Wukong. And this is very much of a trollish item. If you're like super far ahead, you can maybe do it just for some fun. And that's Deathbringer because, well, Sun Wukong's passive is actually kind of great with Deathbringer. It's really risky because your passive only activates when you're low on health, but it can be pretty funny because no one really ever expects Sun Wukong to have a Deathbringer on them. But I would not suggest building this in any way if you're trying to play seriously. This is just for fun. Then we have Stone of Gaia. Just like Male Renewal, the biggest reason to get this item is for the sustain. So after team fights, you don't have to go back to base. Because going back to base sucks after a team fight. Because you'll lose a lot of momentum then. Also gives you some magical protection, which I will say magical protection is not very good right now. Physical protection is much better. But sometimes you might just want that one magical item if their mage is doing a lot of damage, or maybe if they have a Freya as a hunter. So generally, for magical protection items, you usually only want to get one, or none at all, in all honesty. Now, if the team is very heavily magics, then you could probably get away with two. But generally, you only want to get one or don't get any at all. And next time we're gonna talk about these two grouped up because they're both kind of fill the same role. And this is Midgardian Mail and High the Enemy Line. These are very good against basic attack gods. Midgardian Mail is going to slow the enemy. There's a chance to slow them on basic attack and slow their attack speed, and this is going to reflect damage back from basic attacks. I personally like Midgardian Mail more, but both of these are very good at doing their job and very useful. Then the last one we're going to talk about, I know I just talked about magical protection, but if the enemy team has healing, like a Hell or anything like that, Aphrodite, just something you want to stop their healing, Pestilence is very good. You're playing Sun Wukong, you just kind of have a lot of utility just playing Sun Wukong, so might as well get this. This is very good for stopping that. If there is a situation where you do need even more magical protection and you already have a Stone Guide, you could also get Bulwark of Hope. That's also a very good item. Now, matchups for most of the time you're going to be going against a physical jungler and solo laner. Well, you won't really be going against the jungler, but the jungler might rotate over and attack you. So if you got those two both physical, I usually like to get boots into Mystical Mail and then go Mail Renewal. Then after that, I either get Frostbound or Stone of Gaia, just depends. And then I'll finish it off just depending on what I need in the game. Maybe Frostbound Hammer. If they have someone basic attacking that's really being a problem, you could either get Midgardian or Nemean Line. Anything like that. If they have one physical, if they have a physical solo laner and a magical jungler, you probably still want to get boots, Mystical Mail. Then you can either get like Frostbound and then do Mail Renewal. If the enemy solo laner is a magical god, you'll want to do. I like to do boots, and then I get tier 2 Stone Guy. Do not finish Stone Guy. You don't really need it that early. It's not that finish Stone Guy is not super great early because you don't have a whole lot of health anyway. But I just still get a lot of sustain from it. Some nice protections. It's very good. And then I'll probably go into Mail Renewal. I'll probably just skip Mystical Mail at that point because it won't really be worth it. So that. And now let's talk about actives. You're definitely want to get Teleport. I usually like to go back to base early with about at least 1,500 gold. That way you can finish your boots. Well, I guess it's about 1,550 gold. Because you can finish your boots and you get tier 1 of teleport. Now teleport is very important on solo laners because you want to have a lot of sustain. That's why you get these potions. You can go back to base, get your teleport right back to lane. You don't have to miss any of the minion wave, and then you just stay out there until your teleport's down. It's back up. Once your teleport's back up, and you can go back to base anytime you want, and then you can just teleport right back to lane. This will help you from losing a lot of gold, a lot of experience, and teleport's very good. You eventually want to get to shielded teleport. You can teleport to any tower, and the biggest thing, you teleport to wards. So make sure your team's warding. It's very good. And you can sometimes even get a surprise attack in because they will not be expecting you to be behind them. Next, for the other actives, Sun Wukong, like I said before, is very utility based. There's a lot of other options you could do. You can do Shield of the Underworld. So sure, going to be pretty tanky. This is going to reflect a lot of damage back, especially to hunters. And you get Shield of Absorption. It's going to make your team really tanky. If they have like an Ares or something stupid that you don't want to be CC'd into, and you get beads. Although your ultimate does give you CC immunity while you're channeling it, so that's also a great way to stop it. Like I talked about with Pestilence, so you don't want to get that, and they have a bunch of healing. You get Weakening Curse. That'll be very good. And also if your team has a healer, which they should probably begin this time anyway. But if the other team also has a lot of slows, maybe a Bastet too, a Nemesis, you get heavily agility. It's going to increase everyone's movement speed. It's also going to increase healing. And yeah, it's also going to make you immune to slows. So those are the other options. You just want to build a lot of utility on Sun Wukong. You want to make him really tanky. And that's what makes Sun Wukong really, really good. Now, we're going to go into his builds, his abilities now, if I can find it. Here we go. Now, let's first talk about the passive, and that's Undefeated Body. Now, this is the reason why I had Deathbringer on here, because this is a really strange passive on Sun Wukong, but it's actually kind of works in his favor sometimes, though. When Sun Wukong is below 35% health, he gains 10% critical chance and 10 protections, plus another 1% critical chance and 1 protection for his current level. So, at max level, you would get like 35% crit chance and an extra 35 protections. Not 35, 20, 30, 30. There we go. I can't add. Math is not my strong suit. So an extra 30 crit chance and protection. It's actually funny once you start critting people when you get low on health. And it surprises people sometimes and they just kind of end up dying. It's quite funny. And it's actually a pretty good ability. It's going to make you harder to kill when you're low on health. Give you more time to get into your somersault cloud and, just survive the fight. Get healed back up, get back in the fight. Now we're going to talk about his abilities. We got the Magic Cudgel. This is going to be the ability you level up first. This is going to be your main form of Wave Clear and Harassment. It's very good. This ability has a very, very long reach. It deals extra damage to minions and jungle camps. And there's not a whole lot of this to say about the ability. It just does damage. Then we got Master's Will. This is going to be an AoE ability. This is what I also like to level up second. You could also make a case for 72 transformations, but I'll talk about that when I get to that next ability. This ability is it's very easy to hit this ability. It also slows, which is very important. It does a decent amount of damage. It's also very good for clearing waves early, because you can hit them with Magic Cudgel, move up to the middle of them, and then hit Master's Will, and you can pretty much clear out the whole wave very early. Then we got 72 transformations. This is what I like to level up last. Now, thing is with this ability, it has 3 forms, and it depends where your targeter is when you activate the ability. If it's the farthest away, you're turned into an eagle. You'll be immune to slows and roots, and you will just fly away. This is a great ability to get out of trouble. It's a very powerful escape. And then you got Tiger Form. Tiger Form, you'll turn into a tiger, of course. And the first enemy that you run into, they will take a good bit of damage, and you will stun them. Now, the downside of this ability is this will also affect minions, and you can run into a minion, and then that kind of ruins the ability. But it deals a lot of damage. It's 280 plus 80% of your physical power at max level. That's a lot of damage. I think probably his most useful one is Ox. His Ox form is very good in team fights. Turn to an Ox, you'll just go right through people. You'll knock any enemy up, be it minions or gods. And this is very disruptive in team fights. Very good. Personally, there's not a real big reason to use Tiger form, unless it's just a single enemy, or you can use it in lane just to harass some, if you're sure you can get off. Most of you won't be using Eagle and Ox. Tiger is just basically for chasing someone down. Also, another thing to note here, why I like to level this up last instead of Master's Build. This will, the Tiger form on this does a lot of damage, but it's very hard to hit because if you hit a minion, it's going to hit the minion, it's not going to hit the god, and other than Tiger form, Master's will be doing more damage. So that's why I don't like to get 72 transformations leveled up second. And then we got Somersault Cloud. This is an ability you can actually level up last. You can just get 1 point in it, and you don't really have to level it up until you get all your other 3 abilities leveled up, because the only thing that increases on it is the damage when you land, and that's not really the important part of this ability. The biggest thing with this ability is when you go up to the cloud, you're going to create a decoy. You can do a lot of things with the decoy. It's very good for chasing people under tower, because the tower is going to attack the decoy. That'll give you some time to run under a tower and attack the enemy god. It's good for trying to take out a tower. The biggest thing though is this helps you stay alive, helps you sustain back up in a team fight to get back in the team fight. Because once you go up into the cloud, you're going to get 5% of your health healed per second. You're going to have a lot of healing, especially if you also have a Stone of Gaia. You're going to get very close back to full health if you're really low. And also your CC immune while you're channeling this. Now it does take a few seconds to channel, and you can be killed while you're channeling it, so be careful on that. But generally that will not happen very often, because you will also get your extra protections from his passive. And that's Sun Wukong. He's very good right now, so go play him if you want to try him out, because he might not be that good after the patch. So hope y'all enjoyed this. If y'all have another guy y'all like to see me do next, just let me know. And I hope y'all have a great day and have fun.